Well, look, it's little. You can carry it. Come on, let's get out of here. Hey, Johnny, look what I got.
This is another Airsoft Mike production.
A historical welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is the Aries Thompson Chicago AEG electronic blowback. Okay, so again, brand new, bought in 2026. Didn't get it when it first came out, so let's have a look and see what we're getting here. So, loving the images that you're getting here. Notice on here it says Thompson M1928 Chicago. That's not what's in the box, but that is what is behind there and what I have in my hand here. Beautiful gas blowback, fully licensed, so it has all the trades. But today is more about the model 1928. So I don't see the name Cybergun anywhere, so I'm going to suggest that this bad boy does not have the trades on it, but you know, let's have a look. But this does have something that the Model 1A1 doesn't have. Wow, that looks pretty decent. Okay, hold on. So we get, as per usual, no physical instruction manual. However, you do get a QR code where you can download the manual. Nice image of the Thompson right there, giving you some basic information. So straight away, we know it's real wood, nice, walnut, and zinc alloy. And it's good to see they have spelt aluminium the correct way. And can I say, it's one of those few occasions where you're compelled to keep the box for this particular model. Everything's cut perfectly, and yeah, could possibly slip that into a case, the whole foam section. Okay, let's start with this awesome looking, and I must say, authentic looking drum mag, minus the trades. And what I love about this metal drum mag is because it's a high cap drum mag and you have to wind the BBs, they've made it so that it functions pretty much like the real thing, so you do give that a spin. And of course, it being a Thompson Chicago Typewriter, the stock is separate. Look at that bad boy. Again, real wood, nice, and again, because of how it works and everything, it's pretty much got to replicate its real counterpart. So right there is your button to release the stock when you're taking it off, and at the back where you would have your little compartment on the real version for things like, I don't know, cleaning kits or oil or whatever you want, really, whatever you could fit in there. On this Airsoft version, it's your battery compartment. And if you look carefully, you should just about see a Tamiya plug in there somewhere. There it is. And I tell you what, as we're here, we might as well, let's fish that Tamiya plug out and plug the battery up now. As you can see, I didn't take the butt plate off. You can get this out. I used an Allen key to just fish this out if your fingers can't get to it. However, once you connect your battery and you pop it in the stock, I reckon you're probably going to have to take off that butt plate whenever you want to disconnect or take out the battery. Unless, again, you want to try and fish it out, but hey-ho, we'll see. Right, here she is. This looks awesome, even in that state there without the stock and the mag. And just to show you, it's not old stock from when it first came out. This particular one was tested, put in a box in 2025 at the factory. Nice. Right, let's get the stock on. So that should just click on. Nice. And I tell you what, as I have it in this position, have a look. There you can see where the BBs are chambered, and right there is where you adjust your hop up. But you don't need to do it from there, because most of the time you're going to want your magazine in place. Oh, would you look at that beauty? You've got to admit, that is one classic image of an American icon. Anyway, let's start at the back. So, what makes this particular model very fancy for me is that it's real wood, but not just any old wood, Italian-made solid walnut hardwood. Look at the grain on that. And look at that. Nice. It also features a rear steel sling point. Now, I've already shown you the butt plate, so we don't need to go back there again. However, even though I've shown you how the stock goes on, I'll show you again. That's the button to release the stock. And what I have noticed, when you're putting on the stock, you don't really need to press that button. Maybe you do if you want less wear and tear. I don't know. That's up to you. Now, here is the first of only 3 things that disappoint me about this model. But the fact that it's all metal and real wood and blowback kind of makes up for it all. But here's the first thing that disappoints me. Although this looks so epic, I really am disappointed that this rear sight doesn't function. Nothing on this moves. It really does look like it should. But no, nothing moves. But to be fair, do you really need a sight that looks so complex and fancy as this on a platform like this? Come on, I don't think so. So I kind of forgive Ares. And you know what? The same goes for the real steel counterpart. I've heard so many people say it's not needed on the real version either. Oh, them stickers. Hold on.
Hey, I tell you what I'm gonna give you, Snakes. I'm gonna give you to the count of 10.
There we go. Zoom on back in. Now, although this model is lacking the real steel trades, I'll show you my other Airsoft model that does have them in a moment. What makes up for it on this bad boy is that it's a blowback model. So this bad boy right here, the bolt handle or charging handle or cocking handle, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, baby. Now, of course, that's on semi-auto. Hold on. Woohoo! It is a bit short. It doesn't really go back that far, but I'm still happy it has a blowback function. Now, the controls. So as you can see right there, you've got a separate switch for your safe, fire, semi-auto, and full auto. You've also got this mag release right there. So let me just show you something. So if you push up on that release, your mag comes off, no problem. Let me just put it back on. I'm now going to put this on full auto, and I'm now going to try and release the mag. The lever goes up as normal. It looks like it's released there, but the mag does not come off. Interesting. Put it back on semi-auto or single, and you know who your uncle is.
Bob.
Oh, and by the way, steel. Nice. And as I have the mag off, I'll just show you. You open that door to put your BBs in, and this bad boy takes 1000 BBs. However, it is designed so you can put a lower capacity stick mag. Nice. And talking about design, you will see that although this mag goes straight up, because you know this is an AEG version, so you have to put it straight up as opposed to from the side like the real version, you still have elements of that design where you would slide it from the side if it were the real thing. And of course, just like its real counterpart, you give it a wind. Nice there. But you know, you do a few more. You don't just stop as soon as you see the first one. In fact, I think you keep winding just like you would on any high cap mag until you hear some extra clicks. Oh, there you go, listen. Nice. Now, although I may or may not have shown you me putting this magazine up straight away without touching that mag release, it is good practice to, you know, do that first and then put your mag on. I would suggest that would help with wear and tear, or preventing it. Right, she's ready to go, but first, let's continue with the features. That iconic foregrip, again, wood. Remember, if you get yours, make sure it's nice and tight. And then you have this finned outer barrel. I love that. I love that they've replicated this on here. Although on an Airsoft version, whether it be gas or AEG or whatever, it's just for show. Because on the real version, these fins are for heat dissipation. Now, as we get to the front, the business end, you have your front sight and your comp. Now, I will say this, as authentic as this Airsoft model looks, unlike me, that comp could do with being a bit fatter. Okay, so this side, a little less going on, and because I didn't mention it on the other side, let's go straight to here. Here, you have your trigger. And although it's got that nice slightly lighter colour, no, it's not steel. And above that, you have your pivot plate, which is just for show, but I'm glad they included it because it kind of makes it look authentic. And if you look just inside that trigger guard there, you can see the other side of your mag release mechanism. And remember earlier on I said you don't need to take the mag off to get up in there to get to that hop adjust, because right there, where on the real version your shells would be flying out or your casings, that's where you adjust your hop up. Man, I love the look of this Chicago typewriter. By the way, it's called that because apparently it sounds like a typewriter when you're using the real thing, but even more so, I would argue, when you're using an Airsoft version. But anyway, I love that iconic look. There's only a couple of things that could make this better.
Half track, cover!
And it's purely my opinion. What do you reckon? 1, I wish it had the trades, similar to this. Nice. There's even one up here. Double nice. And of course, there's more trades on this side and up here. However, this bad boy is gas blowback. Oh, mate! Okay, boys, let them have it. Okay, pretty decent, nice and a little bit too hot for most gameplay sites. Some might make you get away with that. Most say about 350 tops. I'm talking about the UK here. But anyway, I'm liking that it's a nice, strong, solid FPS reading. What's the average saying? You can call that 360. Again, just a tad too hot. But yeah, you can always downgrade. Okay, let's do what this really was designed for. Let them have it, boys! There you go, pretty much maintaining its FPS. Let's see if the average is the same. Just a little bit higher. Although a little too hot for, I would say, most gameplay sites in the UK, in law, it's well within the legal limits. Now, I'm not too sure about other countries. I suppose I could look it up. I know for sure, I think in Germany, that I don't think they're allowed full auto airsoft guns. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments section, or agree or whatever. America, I'm not too sure. Other countries in Europe, not too sure. Africa, not too sure. I'm really not. Let me know. Whatever country you're from, Philippines, wherever. What are your FPS limits? Please interact with my videos. Get yourself in the comments section. Right, accuracy test. Oh, would you look at the groupings on that? I even let off a few more shots just to see if I could just get that bullseye, but it just kissed inside, as you can see there. But look at that, the majority of the shots in that yellow section. You know what? That deserves a respectable...
Perfect. perfect.
Wouldn't it be rude if I didn't empty the mag? Hey! I don't think it's empty. I think it just needs to be wound up a bit more. But I have to say, keep the change, you filthy animal. In fact, yeah, there's still BBs in there. Plenty. Ugh, I hate that sound. So there you go, people. This is the Aries Thompson Chicago Typewriter AEG EBB. I've already told you what I like about it and what I don't like about it. What do you say about it? Hit that comment section.